Hello from a secondhand bookshop here in Japan. This is called Book Off. It's a very popular chain all throughout the country, and I like to come here in my downtime to find really good items on discount. You can find books, magazines, manga, video games, all sorts of stuff. So I'm going to see what I can find. I'm also going to challenge myself to only spend $100, so 10,000 Japanese yen. Let's see how I do.
The wonderful world of Book Off has everything from games, toys, figures, manga, books. It is just a matter of looking around and finding what you love the most. And today I'm going to be starting off in the gaming section. You can find everything here from very old retro gaming controllers to consoles to, of course, the hardware as well. And it's a matter of just digging and seeing what you can find, because every time you go to a Book Off, they're going to have different stock available. So you got to come regularly if you're looking for something in particular, but if you're just browsing, you might come across something you were looking for. Sometimes you'll find a bargain or a steal, other times it'll just be quite expensive.
I actually wanted to find a Nintendo 64, but I don't think they have one in stock here, which is really sad because I feel like I would have pulled the trigger today if they had it. They have the controller for sale for 1,600 yen. What am I going to do with that? Oh, I'm distracted by Japanese music. Perfume. What? CD. So OG. I got excited because I thought I found a Nintendo 64, but it's just junk. And it's 3,600 yen, so that would have been super cheap. Dang it. If only I had a way to use the junk and repurpose it. So many old Nintendo 64 games. Super Mario Yoshi's Island for 290 yen. That sounds really cheap. Dang, I really wanted the Nintendo 64. So here you can see they got all the controllers for like 1,600 yen. I don't know if that's good or not. I don't know the value of all these things. Wii remote for 900 yen. Everyone's got a Wii, that's why. What have we got here? PlayStation 3. How much is this PlayStation? 11,000 yen. So like 100 Australian dollars. It's okay, I guess. It is 2 generations ago though. This Wii Resort Special Edition Wii, the black one, how much is this? The Wii has like no value, 5,400 yen. 2,000 yen for Breath of the Wild on Wii U, that's so funny. 7,200 for Wind Waker, yep, makes sense. I'm contemplating whether or not to get like a DS or an SP and just play some OG Pokemon games, but I can't see the price of the SP, so I might ask them and see how much it is. I'm kind of curious. Maybe I'll go ask. すいません。SP はいくらですか？はい。SP。SP ですかね。ゲームボーイの SP。中にあります。はい、ちょっと見させていただいてもよろしいですかね。意外と高いですね。そうなんですよ。ジャンク品なんですけれども。あ、ジャンク品なんですか。Turns out the SP is super expensive, even though it was a junk item apparently. No, 16,000 yen. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm not getting an SP. But I don't really want to get a DS, so I'm not sure if I'll get a gaming system. I really kind of wanted to buy a gaming system. I'll sit in here and think about it for a bit.
This place is huge. They even have an upstairs, so that's where I'm headed to continue my search for some fun deals.
When I was an exchange student in Kyoto, I didn't have a lot of money, so I would buy my cooking books as well as local travel guides all at Book Off, as well as manga to learn Japanese. It was my obsession. So I'm going to check that section out because it's one of my favorites and it's very nostalgic for me. I love also a good bargain. It just makes me so happy.
Manga is definitely one of the most popular things people buy from Book Off, and you can find video game manga as well as just popular series, and the price does vary, so depending on the popularity of the series, the price might be more expensive. However, if it is not too popular or it's quite old, you can find the manga for a really reasonable price. For example, here we have One Piece, very long series. Here this book was 220, and then the next one I pulled out was 110 yen. It's not just about how old the book is, it can also be the condition. So if it's a little damaged, it will definitely be cheaper. If it's in mint condition, more expensive. My favorite area is definitely the budget one, so 100 yen, as well as these bundled sets where you can get a whole series for a very good price. I've done that before and that's the best way to do it, but you do need to commit to the whole series. So it's not good if you just want to test something out.
When I was a student, I used to spend hours coming to Book Off and just looking for shoujo manga, new ones to try out, because every time I bought it was just 100 yen, so that's what I'm going to do now. See if there's something cool to read. Oh, my friend's reading this. This one here, my friend who's learning Japanese, she's reading it because it's really easy. I recognize this. That's really cool. And so this is only 110 yen. If you buy it brand new, it would cost usually around 400 yen. Wow, like 110 yen. I do think the price is determined by the popularity because, for example, this manga, it is on Netflix and it's an anime, and the reason I know it is because it has like Doshisha, my university, as like the uni that it's set at, but this is 220 per volume because it's more popular, I think, and they've only got 2 volumes available. So honestly, the nostalgia of my university in Japan, the study abroad year, is so strong that I'm gonna buy this just so I can relive a little bit of my uni days. I watched the series just because of that. So yeah, gonna get this for 220 yen. Pretty good, it's like half price.
I can go into a book off and 1-2 hours will just disappear. It's so much fun just browsing around. I highly recommend it, and you might end up leaving with things that you've never heard of before but fall in love with.
Okay, so this character, Chikawa, is so popular in Japan at the moment. This book is $5.50. That's not even discounted, barely, surely. Why is it so popular? Someone tell me. I see it everywhere now. I also just want to say the atmosphere inside these bookstores is like my happy place. I just love the calm vibes. So I'm talking really quietly. Hopefully you can hear me. Even though it's the weekend, it's really not that busy either. So yeah, very nice. Another thing I recommend checking out is the cooking section because they have tons of recipe books, from bread to even how to make coffee to specific things like vegetarian Indian cooking. And I want to actually get better at cooking the basics of Japanese food. So I've got 3 books here and I want to narrow it down to picking one of these, and they're all very cheap. They're about 500 yen each. So I'll pick one of these and then I'll start cooking some of the recipes out of this, and maybe we could make it on the channel together and improve my cooking skills. So yeah, there's different types. They're all very basic, like 基本の料理、基本の料理とか基本の和食. And originally, if you buy these, they're over 1,000 yen. But there's other things that I'm curious about, like just books on how to make pasta. You can literally find anything here. But I'm very indecisive, and they're all very similar but slightly different. So I'm like, which one do I pick? Even though it's 500 yen. No, I'm getting distracted by the pasta book. どうしようかな? Okay, I'm gonna go with this one because this is like definitely the basics. It's the title of the book. So 500 yen. すいません、カフェの本はどこですか？
大きい雑誌サイズの。
あ、そうです。東京のカフェ。
One of my money saving hacks is buying these magazines at a heavily discounted rate, because if you buy them brand new at a bookstore, it's almost 1,000 yen, whereas here you can get them for sometimes 200 yen. Super cheap, and they're really fun. I just love collecting them and looking through to discover new places throughout the country.
Another thing I can recommend is picking up Japanese language books here because they have all of the textbooks like Shinkansen Master. And I used to do that when I was a student, and I'd buy really cheap secondhand textbooks. Nihongo Somatome. Got all of them. Of course, you might have to go to several book offs or come back regularly to find the one you're looking for. But for example, right now I can find the N1 Bunpo grammar book. I've got 2 copies here actually, as well as even the most like basic Japanese for busy people. There's like a really beginner book that doesn't even have hiragana in it. And if you're learning English, they also have all the TOEIC books, and they have a ton of them because obviously there's so many Japanese people learning English, so there's tons of them. And they also have like Korean, French, German, anything you can think of. So yeah, it's a good place to get language books discounted too.
Don't worry if you can't understand or read Japanese, because there are some books available in English as well as several other languages. I came across a German novel randomly as well. You can also find very random books here, from popular children's books to popular fiction books. It varies just depending on the place you go to, but the English novels are definitely more expensive. It's not surprising, there are a lot of Japanese novels too. I don't really buy them that often, but this time I'm gonna challenge myself to read this 5-minute series, so I picked it up. The cover looked pretty cool too. And if you want to learn how to do anything in particular, they're going to have a book on that as well. But unfortunately, that Japanese is probably a bit challenging for me. There's a bunch of miscellaneous goods as well, from plushie toys to jigsaw puzzles to gaming cards, Pokemon cards, figures, you name it, they probably have it. Once again, you got to come back regularly to see what's in stock, but it's just fun looking at it and seeing what kind of items are on sale, like this Tamagotchi, which is trending at the moment, or this HomePod, which was a reasonable price. I honestly think you can get really good steals. I don't know what this UFO flying speaker was, if anyone knows. There's TVs, which I actually bought when I studied abroad. I got my TV at a book off for a discounted rate. Physical CDs, really big in Japan still. I don't buy them. I think most of us don't, but look, Love Live, we all know that popular song. Choco Minto, yeah, that song. And then I found a K-On! This OG anime with the coolest CD inside. I almost bought it, but I didn't. I was tempted. Now that I'm back home, I want to go through all the books I got. By the way, the grand total for everything here was 1,800 yen. That's so cheap. I thought I was going to spend way more, but apparently I have some good resistance. I spend within my means. So I'm very happy. First of all, this is the Tokyo bread book, where I'm going to look up a bunch of bakeries that I'm going to check out, because Japan has good bread and bad bread. And this is just very aesthetic. Like, look at this. It's fun to just like leave it on your shelf and stare at it. Maybe look at it, maybe not look at it, but I'll make sure I look for it. Stay tuned for bread adventures continuing in Tokyo. And then I got this book, which is all about Kamakura, one of my favorite areas right outside of Tokyo. It's a day trip location, and I have been there at least 10, 12, 15 times, but there are so many hidden gems, and I think having a book like this where they highlight spots is really cool. And look at like the way they decorate the book with the art. It's just so pretty and cute. And Kamakura is really good during the rainy season because they're really well known for their hydrangea. Super beautiful. Really want to go there and check it out. And a lot of cool hidden power spots, which they advertise in that book. And then I also got a Otona no Cafe, which is adult cafes. It's nothing weird. It's just the way they kind of market things in Japan to make it seem more like mature. And I had a look through this while I was in the shop, and there were quite a few that I recognized, but I think they summarized some of my favorite places as well as like a bunch I didn't know. So cafe adventures shall continue. And if you buy this kind of book brand new, it's at least like 1,000 yen. This is the manga book I picked up, and I'm excited to read through it. If I really like it, I can always go back and buy a few more of the books from the series for a discounted price. Very simple, very easy. As well as this is a novel. It's like a short story series that seems really popular. I saw a bunch of different books from the same, I don't know if it's the same author, but it's like some, within 5 minutes you can feel something, like feel like lovey-dovey or feel sad. It seems really popular, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I bought this because of the cover. Like, look how aesthetic that is. This is Kamakura, the seaside place that I was mentioning in that book, the magazine. And yeah, this aesthetic is totally what I like, and I pack a guide for a book. That's ridiculous, but seems really popular. I'm gonna give it a go, and this was only 220 yen. Plus, at the store, they had another one that was 500 yen, but I was glad I found a cheaper one because you can see this one isn't in the best condition. It's got like damaged edges and all that. The inside is obviously perfect condition. And I think this is for high school students, or not high school, probably early high school, 中学生, or like elementary. I'm gonna give this a go and challenge my Japanese. And then finally, I got my cooking book. So I'm excited to practice some really basic Japanese recipes. This is Kihon no ryori, so really, really simple recipes. This is what a Japanese housewife would make, like a Japanese mum. And I think there's like cool stuff to try out. Even just, you know, steamed pumpkin or macaroni gratin. Yum. Yeah, so I'm gonna make some of these videos maybe weekly on the channel, so let me know if you like the idea of that. But that is my book off haul. In the past, I actually bought the whole Nana manga series as a set for about 2,000 yen or 1,500, and it included all the manga that had ever been released, and that was a steal, honestly. So if you're looking for like a whole set, you can get a really good deal sometimes. But that's everything I bought. I think I'm pretty happy with that, so I'll see you guys in another video. Bye!